Hello, my name is Brian Pace, a Table Tennis Test Rider, and this is the update to Tuttle Beijing 4. I have used a Tuttle for more than 3 months now, and I wanted to give you more feedback since I have a lot more hours on this rubber now. I did some extensive training on this rubber, and I played a tournament so I can get real-time feedback on how it performed when I was executing shots to win in competition. Now let's talk about the training. I put the Tuttle Beijing 4 on my backhand 3 weeks after the Olympic trials, where I had been using short pips, and I was surprised how fast I adjusted to it. I was in the habit of hitting more than looping, so it was nice to have a soft sponge that really gave me the feel I wanted without the ball springing out so fast. Backhand looping. I did some drills that allowed me to really monitor the arc with the Tuttle, and the feel that came from the top sheet and the sponge was great. What was more important is based on the amount of effort I did on the backhand loop, the Tuttle allowed me to have command over spin and depth. Now, most rubbers give you one or the other. If it gives you good spin, then it's going to pretty much not be consistent with the depth. Or if it gives you a consistent depth on the table, the spin is not going to be quality. And Tuttle gave me the perfect balance of spin and depth. Now, the blocking is just solid with this rubber because of the soft sponge, and I do have to amend one statement I made from the original Tuttle review when I said that this rubber had the Chinese style top sheet. It's really more of the Japanese style top sheet and sponge, even though when I open it, it looked to have that same look. Backhand looping from underspin. Now, this is also another place that the Tuttle Beijing 4 impressed me with regards to spin and depth. I was doing some drills for looping back spin, and I would start out with doing spinning loops to see if I really put a lot of spin on the ball, could I find a consistent place. And I had success with being able to practically close my eyes and just focus on a lot of friction, knowing that it would land in a safe place on the table. And on the flip side of that coin, I decided to just rip some backhand loops so that I could still get a picture of how the rubber would profile. And even though I was ripping the ball, you could clearly see that it was a consistent depth on the table. So the quality of shot didn't change with regards to heavy spin or heavy force. And really at that point, I wasn't sure which one of those loops I liked better, because it was so balanced that in both situations I could decide to spin the ball or I could rip the ball. So A+ for Tuttle Beijing 4 having perfect balance. Competition. After 3 real training sessions, I decided to put the Tuttle to the test in competition. And even knowing that I had the short pips, I still had the confidence in the Tuttle, and I was impressed with every aspect from this rubber that I could analyze with regards to competing with it. I decided to go with the more conservative shot, which was the spinning shot, and I had a tremendous amount of success. Almost every one of the backhand loops that I attempted that was spinning was blocked off the end, and I think it was the combination of spin and depth, because when you make a loop with this rubber, it makes a great spin, but because the depth is so far on the table that the person doesn't block like this, they have to actually bring their racket to the end of the table and open the angle more, and that allows the spin to actually jump. So I owe those spinny backhand loops that everybody did off the table to Tuttle Beijing 4. I did have some success with the backhand hit, even though I didn't use it that much, but I did have some really good punch blocks to where I really felt the rubber vibrate through the handle, and I had total command over that shot. Rubber sounds perfect so far, but there was one barometer that underperformed, and that is durability. From the first review, I didn't have a lot of feedback on the durability, but after using the rubber for 3 months, it doesn't handle wear and tear so well. And even in my fully retired mode, I do find myself training 3 times a week with Raphael or Richard. So I'm playing at least 6 hours a week, to where I'm really putting in some good contact into the rubber. And after about 5 weeks, a big bubble developed in the middle. And I don't think this is a bad sheet of rubber. I just think it wasn't glued properly, because it just came up a little bit too easy. And whenever I bubble a rubber, I always say it's a factor of the fact that I coach with the same racket that I train with, and we have really hot weather here in South Florida, and it's just the constant contact in the sweet spot. So with regards to durability, is probably the only thing about this rubber that I felt, underperformed. For a rubber that's way less expensive than the tensor rubbers out there, this rubber loops great. It blocks great, has tremendous feel, good depth on the table, above average on the block and the counter loop, with the only drawback being durability. And the price kind of evens that out. So if I was still playing table tennis, Tuttle Beijing 4 is a good bang for my table tennis buck. My name is Brian Pace, and I'll see you on the table.